Holy shit. Let's just get into the breakdown. Dan is playing in the background and GT Goku is officially revealed, along with Pan. She does a quick little flying kick combo followed by a few regular kicks and punches. And then we get to see her Gill Missile super attack, featuring the return of the heroic little robot, Giru. Now, Pan and Giru are cool additions. However, I can't help but feel that certain other GT characters would have made more sense. Both Nova Shenron and Super 17 are missing from the roster. And just because they weren't shown in the trailer doesn't necessarily mean they won't be included. However, with roughly 10 character slots remaining, their chances of making the base roster seem pretty slim. Perhaps they're saving them for future DLC? Moving on. GT Goku transforms into Super Saiyan and proceeds to do a super explosive wave. Judging by all those dark clouds around the map, the super explosive wave appears to be his ultimate. In Sparking Zero, the sky turns dark whenever you charge to max power. A neat little detail they took from the Raging Blast series. Thanks to this, we can easily deduce that this move is his ultimate. Oh, and he also has it as an ultimate in BT3, so yeah. Base Baby Vegeta is finally back after way too many years. Now that I think about it, I don't believe we've seen this form since Tenkaichi 3. He still has the same supers, Gallic Gun and the Final Flash. Although, I'm curious if they'll include that little Easter egg where he mispronounces Vegeta's attacks. And here's a form that's even more obscure than its base, Super Baby 1. This one tends to get overshadowed by the more popular Super Baby 2, as well as Great Ape Baby. However, not only did the devs remember to include him, but they also gave him a completely new Rush super attack. This change is definitely welcome, as this form had one of the worst cases of stock move syndrome. It basically shared the same moves with the base form. And now we get to the fan favorite, Super Baby 2. As expected, the Revenge Death Ball is back, but with a unique twist. Previously, using the Death Ball was just like any other big blast move. You'd throw it at an opponent and it would just kind of explode. This time, however, there's a neat little addition. In Sparking Zero, when the Death Ball hits the opponent, it triggers a cinematic where the attack is powered up by Baby before it explodes. Think of it something like Goku's Super Spirit Bomb from the Buu Saga. After the Spirit Bomb connects, Goku has a brief cinematic where he says,
"I hope you'll come back someday. See you later."
Uub is back. However, it's GT Uub, not End of Z Uub. It's the same situation we had in BT3. His Rush Super from 3 is still there, although slightly reworked. Now, his fused form with Buu has an insane ultimate. Remember Majube's ultimate from the previous games? The Lightning Arrow? See, the move he performs in the trailer is the second part of that Lightning Arrow ultimate. All the energy bullets that miss the opponent converge to form a massive energy cyclone, which then unleashes a powerful energy wave against the opponent. A beautiful adaptation of the source material. Baby unleashes a Final Flash, and the camera abruptly cuts to black, followed by complete silence.
Grandpa?
Super Saiyan 4 Goku is back, and looking better than ever. SSJ4 Goku charges at Baby with his iconic Meteor Crash. As Baby tries to throw a punch, Goku swiftly counters with a perfectly timed Sonic Sway. And speaking of counters, as soon as Baby recovers from the Sonic Sway, Goku strikes a pose that I can only guess is his counter stance. I say that because the moment Baby hits him, Goku vanishes and follows up with an incredibly stylish smash. He also strikes this pose, which seems like a nod to a scene from GT. And considering it's been a while since I've watched GT, I'm a bit unsure about the exact moment it's referencing. Yeah. Fake fan alert, I know. Speaking of references, in the very next scene, Goku blasts Baby away just like he did in GT. It would appear that this is one of his supers, specifically his third super. In my previous Sparking Zero breakdown, I mentioned that we'll have customizable super attacks. Characters with less screen time typically have 2 super attacks, while those with a larger arsenal will have 3 or more. I guess SSJ4 Goku falls into the latter category. Now, this next scene is kind of strange. Baby transforms into his Great Ape form and we finally hear his voice. However, there's something unusual about it. He has a Russian or vaguely Eastern European accent.
I can taste your fear. It is very sweet.
I can't be the only one that's hearing it, right? This is how his voice sounded in previous games.
This time you're the one who'll be having nightmares. I did it. This time I win.
In any case, Grade 8 Baby's gigantic flame as well as his revenge death ball are returning. Oh yeah, the Kamehameha times 10 is also back, no surprise there. Shenron. His gigantic blaze is back and looking more cinematic than ever. Now, this is such an incredibly minor nitpick from my end, but I'm glad they finally fixed it. In both BT2 and 3, Sin is shown with a cracked 1-star Dragon Ball on his head in the character art. But once you load into the game, it's perfectly intact. I know it's an incredibly minor detail to point out, but I'm glad they finally fixed it. To counter Sin's transformation, Goku goes for a spectacular looking Dragon Fist explosion. Unfortunately, it's not very effective, as Omega counters with his Dragon Thunder Super. I also appreciate how the Dragon Balls glow during the move. Nice touch. And finally, our favorite prince is back to save the day. He has the exact same idle animation as in 3. I know I forgot to mention it earlier, but baby Vegeta has the same animation too. So what's new about SSJ4 Vegeta? Well, he still has a final flash as his super, same with his spirit breaking cannon, although the trailer doesn't show much of it. It seems they've significantly reworked the move so it doesn't appear as a carbon copy of the move used against Cell. It's a bit odd that they simply slapped it onto SSJ4 Vegeta without any modifications in BT3. Vegeta and Omega engage in a clash, and as expected, Omega comes out on top with the camera fading to black.
Fusion! Ha!
And now, ladies and gentlemen, for the best part of the trailer, Gogeta rushes at Omega with his ultimate impact. This move looks spectacular in this game, and I'm just praying it has better tracking than it did in the original game, so it can actually be viable to use. SS4 Gogeta was always regarded as the pinnacle of power in the PS2 era of games, and I'm hoping some of that old charm will carry over to SZ. I actually did a video on that subject a week or two ago. If you want to check it out, he was the strongest in terms of raw power output, but lacked decent defense options. And despite feeling overpowered due to his overwhelming speed, he was actually fairly balanced. I'm really hoping they can capture some of that feeling in Sparking Z. They appear to be on the right track based on what we've seen in the trailer. Just like in 3, Gogeta does the finger point gesture. For those who don't know, this is his counter stance, and also a subtle nod to the show. If a character were to attack you while Gogeta was in that pose, he would counter by striking you in the face with his elbow. And the exact same thing happens in Sparking Zero. And here's my favorite part. His aerial barrage combo is an exact replica of his BT3 combo. Omega charges up his minus energy ball, and you know what that means.
You best give up.
Check out my extra large spirit ball!
Gogeta follows suit with his Big Bang Kamehameha times 100, although they refer to it as Ultra Big Bang Kamehameha in the trailer. Not complaining though, it's just something to point out. Before the two ultimates could clash, the camera abruptly cuts to a shot of GT Goku charging up his Universal Spirit Bomb and hurling it toward Omega. The Spirit Bomb explodes and the title screen logo pops up. 15 new characters are added to the roster, which means there are only 10 slots remaining. Now, here's something really important you should know. And don't worry, I'm not going to spoil anything. A few hours ago, a certain Japanese source got a hold of the latest demo of the game. It didn't just feature the latest build of the game. It featured the whole entire character roster. So yeah, if you don't want to get spoiled for the upcoming reveals, I suggest staying clear of the Sparking Zero side of the internet for the next few days. I myself got spoiled on the GT reveal, and while I personally don't mind it all that much, I know a lot of people prefer to avoid spoilers. So yeah, just wanted to give a heads up. Stay tuned for the official reveals from Bandai, and in the meantime, I suggest giving a look to this video where we went over Tenkaichi 3's competitive scene. You'll also get a better understanding of SS4 Gogeta.